According to one NFL analyst, Caleb Williams is the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. And in fact, he even thinks he's better than Andrew Luck as a prospect. Let's talk about it, people. What is going on? Y'all, Faiz Sports Stall back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, please do hit that big red subscribe button down below. Please make sure you're following me on my social media platforms, guys. As always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so here we go. Nick Wright. Yes, that's right. Nick Wright is the analyst that I am talking about. Nick Wright of First Things First Fox Sports. He was on CHGO Sports, CHGO Bears, which I'm a big fan of, man. They're doing some great work over there, those guys. And he basically was on the show, and they interviewed him, talked about Caleb, and he said the following: Caleb Williams is the best prospect since Andrew Luck, and I think he's a better prospect than Luck. Now, let me just start by saying this. I am a Nick Wright fan, so maybe a little biased here, but I've actually known about this take for a while now because I watch First Things First every now and then, and Nick has been on the Caleb Williams bandwagon literally since like a year ago, like before the Bears even got the number overall pick, before anything. Like, he does this like tiers ranking where he ranks quarterbacks, and he was including Caleb Williams in his tier list of quarterbacks with other NFL quarterbacks while Caleb Williams is in college. He was doing that while Caleb was in college. That's how big of a Caleb fan he is. So he also might be a little biased here, but I wanted to talk about this because I think this take is very interesting. Why? Because Andrew Luck, for all intents and purposes, is, I believe, the gold standard when it comes to quarterback prospects. Like, I think he is the greatest quarterback prospect. When you look at that, we're not talking about the greatest quarterback. That's Tom Brady, and people can make the argument for Patrick Mahomes to be that. I'm talking about the greatest quarterback prospect. Okay, and so with regards to that, I went back and just looked. Hey, what did NFL.com? I'm just using NFL.com because there's so many people that do draft scouting, but let's just go back to what NFL.com had as Andrew Luck's grade and what they have as Caleb's grade, and then some of the other kind of these quarterback prospects. So Andrew Luck's grade was a 97. Okay, now I don't know what that scale was back then because they changed the scale in 2014, but I'm assuming it's 97 out of 100, most likely, so near perfect damn grade. But his total score was a 93, which I don't really understand too well, but again, just sharing this with you guys. Then we go to Caleb, and again, they changed the grading scale in 2014, and they gave Caleb a 6.74, which is considered a year one starter grade. I think the highest is you can be an 8, which is the perfect prospect. So Caleb got a 6.74 out of 8 per NFL.com, but his total score was 96, which was above Andrew Luck's. Then I went back and looked at some other prospects like that were touted very, very highly. Like Trevor Lawrence is a good example, right? And I went back and saw his prospect grade. He actually had a 7.40, which is insanely high and higher than Caleb. So by the numbers, right, by what the scouts looked at, Caleb Williams is not the greatest prospect since Andrew Luck. Trevor Lawrence actually got a higher grade. Now, that's just NFL.com, but I wanted to use something as an example here. And let's talk about if I agree with this statement. And I'm going to go ahead and say I love Caleb, and I think he's going to be fantastic. But to me, Andrew Luck is still the greater prospect. And the reason why is I believe Andrew Luck had that prototypical quarterback kind of, play style that I love. And the fact is, Caleb, I don't think coming out is as polished as Andrew Luck. He's got things that he could still work on. He's fantastic for sure. But if we're talking about just sitting in the pocket and picking you apart and just dissecting you completely, I feel like Andrew Luck as a prospect could do that better than Caleb Williams. That's just my preference and what I thought at that time. Now, for the modern day NFL, man, like Caleb is, and Nick Wright talked about this, the closest in play style, right? Listen to what I'm saying. Closest in play style to Patrick Mahomes. That I completely agree with because the way we see Patrick play on the field, I see a lot of that in Caleb. And so that works out well because you want that type of quarterback in today's NFL. The NFL was a lot different just 10, 12 years ago when Andrew Luck was playing, right? When he came into the league. It has changed a lot now. And so what you need in 2024 as a prospect, that's what Caleb Williams gives you. So for right now, I think Caleb, is as good as it comes in terms of prospects. But to me, Andrew Luck was still the gold standard, still is the gold standard. And look, man, draft grades, prospect grades, I don't want to hold them as kind of the end-all be-all because Trevor Lawrence, we just saw his grade was amazing. And Trevor Lawrence he's been okay. He has not been a top 5 quarterback. He's probably been a top 12 quarterback. Hasn't been living up to that sort of, high peak, if you will. Overall, folks, man, the bar isn't very high in Chicago when it comes to quarterback. So Caleb doesn't have to do much to beat that, but you certainly want a guy who can, of course, be as good as Andrew Luck. And boy, if he turns out to be as good as Andrew Luck, or even better, listen, it is going to be fun here in Chicago. Let me tell you that. We are going to embrace Caleb like no other. Like no other. The first time he throws for 4,000 passing yards, the first time he throws for 30 touchdowns, the city's going to go wild. All right? Because those numbers have never been hit here in Chicago. So Caleb doesn't have to be Andrew Luck to be a success, but damn, it would be nice if that was the case. So let me know what you guys think, man. Better prospect, Caleb Williams or Andrew Luck? I still say Andrew Luck, but man, would I love to be wrong on this one. Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for watching.